right, and we have Lorna back behind me. Hi there. All right, everybody, aloha. Are you guys all excited to go flying?
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you for getting up so bright and early. My name is Beth. I'll be your pilot tour guide. Do me a favor, please. If you saw the safety briefing inside, give me a big thumbs up. Perfect. Any questions? All right. If you have questions anytime during the tour, throw them out there. I love questions. Or if you just feel like talking to each other or just singing along with music, you're welcome to do any of that. The easiest way to hear each other on board is with your hand microphones. And there's one in between each pair of seats you will share with your next door neighbor. Just push the button, talk right into the end of it. Also, over your heads are some air conditioning vents. Feel free to open them up, twist them around, make yourself nice and comfortable. And we have some comfort bags in the pockets in front of you should you need them. We'll probably get a few little minor bumps and wiggles around some of the terrain. I'll do my best to keep us upright at all times, keep those to a minimum on you. And with that, I'm going to turn the microphones off for takeoff. I'll let you know when you're back live in a couple minutes. You guys all ready to roll? All right, see you in the sky.
Sunny as far as I can see, high up in a coconut tree. Sunny sky, high up in a coconut tree. Up here.
All right, here we go.
Sunny sky as far as I can see. Pour me another one, make it a strong one. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Castaway and leave the world behind. Take a tropic holiday, say goodbye to keeping time. Wasting away down by the coast, Pacifico and chasing lime. Easy living down in paradise. Pour me another one, make it a strong one. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Just like the other one, make it a double rum, we're gonna cast away tonight. I'm in an island state of mind, don't think I'm ever gonna leave. I'd rather stay and watch the waves move the sand beneath my feet. Reggae on the radio, laying low and feeling high. Easy living down in paradise. Pour me another one, make it a strong one, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Just like the other one, make it a double rum, we're gonna cast away tonight. Cast away, ride the waves like
Alrighty, folks, I've got those microphones turned back on for you. Feel free to use them anytime you want. Again, my name is Beth. And if by any chance you ask me something and you get no response, please ask me. I have some other aircraft in my headset that you guys aren't hearing. They like to talk over you sometimes. Down on your right is now Wheelie Willie Harbor. This is the main port for the island. We get about 90% of all our goods through here. Everything else has to be flown over.
The good times are free and nobody can take that away. On your way, come and cast away with me. So pour me another one, make it a strong one. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah, branching off of the harbor is the Hula River stretching out ahead of us. If you've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, you have seen the Hula River before. Very beginning of the movie, Indy hops into a seaplane to make a quick getaway. And he takes off right down in front of us. Although one inaccuracy in that scene, that's the one where Indy runs into all the snakes. We have no snakes on Kauai at all. So happy hiking. Yeah, we'll be checking out quite a few movie scenes in our travels today. Hollywood loves to use this island as a backdrop, so we have a whole lot of them. Another Harrison Ford movie that was filmed here was 6 Days, 7 Nights. That's the one where he was marooned on a beach with Anne Heche. That beach is called Kipukai. It'll be coming into view off your left side. Kipu Kai was also featured in The Descendants with George Clooney. That's the land his family owned in that movie. Ahead of us, this is Kipu Ranch. It's a working cattle ranch, so you might spot some little brown cows running around down there. In the first Jurassic Park movie, this is where they came into contact with the dinosaurs for the first time. They're driving their jeeps along the field. All the brachiosauruses showed up. That was right at this ranch. And the mountains to your left, Haupu Ridge, that was the backdrop in that scene. They also made an appearance in Avatar, but you probably wouldn't recognize them. These are the floating mountains of Pandora. They took the entire mountain range, flipped it upside down with a computer, and broke apart all the rocky sections into the floating mountains. So a little bit of movie magic on that one. Looking over the mountains, you're looking down toward the southern shoreline, toward the town of Poipu. Poipu is one of our two major resort towns here on Kauai, the other one being Princeville up on the north shore. We'll see that a little bit later on today. Our southern shoreline's got some fabulous snorkeling with reefs off of Lihue and Poipu beaches. And this time of year, the surf's breaking down that way as well, so nice boogie boarding conditions. What part of the island are you guys all staying on?
Princeville.
Oh, nice. We'll see that a little bit later on. That's my favorite part of the island. I love the North Shore. Where are you guys all visiting from?
I'm from Texas.
Everybody else?
I'm from Texas for the last 5 years, but
Cool.
California before that.
Oh, nice. Texas and California for everyone? Awesome. Welcome, guys. Oh, for my Texas folks, you got an old Gulf of Mexico pilot driving his bird. Been through Texas a few times. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I'm from South Florida, civilian trained as a pilot about 12 years ago. This is a second career for me, and I am third-generation pilot following in my grandmother's footsteps. So far, I've done most of my flying offshore in the Gulf and also on California's Central Coast out of Santa Maria, flying the rigs, and came over this way about 3 years ago to go sightseeing for a living. So appreciate y'all joining me today. Got a beautiful day on the island for you. I know you're looking at the clouds ahead of us thinking I'm probably full of beans on that one, but it's pretty much always cloudy in the middle of this island. It's one of the rainiest places on Earth. It does not detract from the beauty in the least. In fact, that's what makes it so green and beautiful and lights up the rainbows for us. We're going to start working our way up into these hills clockwise around the island, head on up to the north shore for a bit, and we'll come back around toward the center of the island near the volcano before the day's done. And this area up in the hills here, this is one area where we are going to get some bumps and wiggles. We get some breeze that comes over the volcano, nothing major. This is all private land ahead of us. Everything you see in front of you and going on for many, many miles past that is all owned by one single family. They are the Robinsons, largest private landholders here on Kauai with over 51,000 acres. That makes up about 15% of the island. And we'll be talking quite a bit about them on our way around. They are a very prominent family here on Kauai, largely due to the amount of land that they own. And the Robinsons made most of their money in sugarcane and cattle ranching, and we will see some of their ranch land in a little while. But sugarcane I can't show you because it's no longer grown commercially anywhere in Hawaii. It was our largest crop for a long time, but has gone away due to the increased cost in production. These days our number one cash crop is coffee in Hawaii. And Kauai is actually home to the largest coffee plantation in the country, Kauai Coffee Company. It's down on the south shore off to your left, all the way to the shoreline there, all those green fields down there. They have over 4 million trees, and they'll proudly tell you they've counted every last one of them. But we will be staying up here in the hills, or Malka, as they say in Hawaii. Got a waterfall to show you in the valley ahead. This is Hanapepe Valley ahead of us. The Robinsons live right across the valley, about our 11 o'clock, so we'll be dropping into their backyard for a minute. The waterfall we're going to go see is going to be tucked way down low off our right-hand side as we descend down into the valley. She stands 360 feet tall and goes by the name Mana Vaiopuna. You guys might be a little bit more familiar with her. Bye. We're about to go have a look at Jurassic Falls. the valley. We'll make some turns, put her out both sides so you guys can see her. That's where they landed the helicopter at the beginning of Jurassic Park. This is all private land here. There's no way to see Jurassic Falls except by helicopter. That is literally the Robinsons' backyard we were flying through. They were talking about developing some of the land for tourism at one point, but decided against it. In Hawaii, it's a very strongly held value to maintain and preserve the land, the aina. And although the Robinsons aren't Hawaiian by blood, they've been here for over 150 years now. Definitely locals for all intents and purposes. So that's something that's very near and dear to their hearts as well. The original descendant of the family to come over to Kauai was a Scottish woman, Eliza Sinclair. She lived a lot of her life in New Zealand and then sailed over this way back in 1863. A year later, she made the first land purchase for the family. You can see it straight ahead of us on the horizon. That's the island of Niihau. Niihau sits 17 miles southwest of Kauai, and it's the remnants of a second volcano that grew up right next to Waialeale, the one that formed this island. She's known as the Forbidden Island. You're not allowed to set foot there unless you were born on Niihau or invited by the Robinsons. That was a stipulation of the land deal when Eliza bought the island, that it never be developed or made public. All this land to your left side, that's all Robinson cattle land here. So Eliza bought Niihau from the king. This was a long time ago, way before Hawaii was a state. That'd be about another 90 years. And at the time, we were under the rule of King Kamehameha V. And he charged Eliza $10,000 in gold for that island. It actually only equates to about $150,000 in today's money. So not pocket change, but pretty good rate for your own private island. She did well on that one. Now we're coming up on a beautiful little canyon ahead of us. This is Olokele Canyon. The Robinsons own this too, but they got this for even cheaper than Niihau. This entire canyon, as far as you can see left or right, was gifted into the family as a wedding present. You're probably noticing a bit of a change in the landscape and the climate just in the tiny bit of the island we've traveled. We have 7 climate zones on this one little island, so you will see some fairly dramatic changes on the way around. We left on the east side, and the east and north sides do tend to be the rainier sides, so very, very green and lush. Where you guys are staying at, I'm sure you could tell that's all beautiful rainforest up there. South side around Poipu, that's going to be the sunny side. And we're heading out now to the southwest, very arid and desert-like. A lot like the southwest of the continental United States.
Don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away.
We only get about 6 to 10 inches of rainfall per year on this side, which is pretty neat because the center of the island is one of the rainiest places in the entire world, averaging over 450 inches per year. So pretty dramatic difference for a few miles away.
Deep in the water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze, and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
And we've just left Robinson Land. We're crossing over into State Land. What you're looking at ahead of you is known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Welcome to the Waimea Canyon.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
And if you look at the canyon walls, you'll see all these horizontal lines in them. What you're seeing are individual layers of lava, separate eruptions of Waialeale. That's how the island was formed, beginning a little over 5 million years ago. This is the oldest of the Hawaiian Islands, so it's had the most time for erosion to sculpt it. And this canyon's an excellent example of that. The Waimea River is cutting down through the canyon that's running below us here. And as it does, it's exposing all those layers of lava to the air. Now, lava comes from the center of the earth, so it's very, very rich with iron. When that iron comes into contact with our humid, salty island air, it's going to oxidize or rust. That's where all the red dirt comes from here in Kauai, just a bunch of rust.
Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where
Now, the Hawaiian volcanoes are called shield volcanoes, meaning they don't explode dramatically upward, making a big pointy island, but they just ooze out all these layers you're seeing here, making very gentle hills like what you'll see on the Big Island, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, and also Haleakala on Maui. And this island at one point was just one big smooth mountain. All this dramatic terrain you're seeing here, this is the result of erosion following the extinction of the island. This area up in the upper end of the northern end of the canyon is very popular for hiking. One of my favorite hikes up this way is called the Canyon Trail. It starts at the rim ahead of us, takes you down to the top of this waterfall off to our right side, Waipo'o Falls. She stands 800 feet tall, a little more than double the height of Jurassic Falls.
I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands singing, how do you do? They really sing, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star.
And if you guys want to drive up into the canyon to do some hiking, head to Waimea Town on the southwest side of the island. Looking at about 2 to 2.5 hours from Princeville driving. From there, Highway 550 is the canyon road. Takes you all along this western rim. Beautiful scenic drive. We're going to climb out over the western rim, You'll be able to see that canyon road winding its way along, and we'll climb into Kokee State Park on the other side of the road. The body of water off to our right is one of the many freshwater reservoirs we have here. This one's unique though. We're up high enough in elevation at 3,500 feet that it's no longer tropical. It actually gets down in the 50s here at night. And we breed rainbow trout there. They don't survive in the tropics, but they do pretty well up here. Off to your left-hand side, all the way down the shoreline, is the Navy base, Barking Sands Pacific Missile Range. Just north of the base is Lihue State Beach. That's as far as you can drive around the west side of the island, end of the road. It's one of the unique features of Kauai compared to the other major Hawaiian islands. You cannot circumnavigate this island by road. Our road only goes 3/4 of the way around from the north to the west. This whole northwest side up ahead of us is just way too rugged on the shoreline to build a road, so that's where we're heading now. Off to your front left, those giant ping pong balls out there on the cliffs, that's actually a radar facility that belongs to the Navy base. Keeping a lookout out to the west for us. This whole area up here is real popular for hiking and camping. We have cabins for rent. There's also hunting in the area. We have wild pigs, that's what they hunt for luau's, and we have mountain goats and black-tailed deer here. But none of those animals are native. In the Hawaiian Islands, our only indigenous mammals are the monk seal and Hawaiian bat. Everything else was brought over as livestock. We're just way too young from an evolutionary standpoint for many species to naturally evolve here. We're going to start working our way on out to that northwest coastline now. And again, no way to get there by car. There's no roads. You can hike 11 miles of it on foot. That's known as the Kalalau Trail, very famous hike. 22-mile round trip. But the rest is only accessible by helicopter or boat. And these sea cliffs ahead of us, these are the same cliffs that in 6 days, 7 nights, Harrison Ford and Anne Heche jumped off of when the pirates approached. But in reality, they're over 2,000 feet tall, so that didn't actually happen. As we cross over them, you'll want to keep a look off your right-hand side for your very first view of the world-famous Napali Coast. Beaches coming into view. The first one, you'll see there's a stone arch that crosses the sand out into the sea. That's Honopu. Honopu is featured in Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Captain Jack Sparrow ran right under that arch. Next stretch of sand coming up is Kalalau. That's the end of the Kalalau Trail, the hike that goes all down the sea cliffs ahead of us. We're going to follow that to the northeast in just a few minutes after we're done playing around on this end. Now, Honopu Beach One to our left now, that's a very sacred beach. That one you can't actually get to by boat. It's forbidden. Kapu, to land a watercraft on the sands of Honopu. Not even a surfboard. If you want to go there, you have to swim from Kalalau Beach. Right now it's about a quarter-mile swim. Sometimes when the water's a little higher, it's about a mile swim. And the reason for that is this valley that rises above it. This is the Valley of the King, an ancient Kauaian burial ground. They used to bury their chiefs, the ali'i, deep in the walls of the valley. And they had to hide the bones because Hawaiians believe your bones contain your mana, your spirit. And they believe the ali'i had special powers. So they didn't want that stolen. What they would do is choose a warrior to bury the chief, and it was a high honor to be chosen. They'd lower him down the valley walls by rope from high above, and he'd find a place deep in the fluted cliffs around us to bury the bones. And then they'd cut the rope, and the warrior would fall to his death below. That way he'd take with him forever the secret of where he buried the bones. These are the Kalalau cathedrals we're crossing across now. Probably the most famous, or most photographed rock formation on Kauai. And we'll cross over into Kalalau Valley on the other side of the ridgeline. Now this valley, hundreds of years ago, was home to 2,000 Kauaians. At the time, it was all farmland. They deforested the entire valley. There were quite a few settlements along the Napali back in the days when everybody got around by ship. This was on a popular trading route. In the late 1800s, it became a leper colony. This was back when leprosy was rampant in the Hawaiian Islands, and they exiled a lot of folks to Molokai. But there were some people that decided to remain right here in Kalalau Valley, and since it was so isolated, the government allowed it for a while. After that point, it has been uninhabited, and it is now illegal to live along the Napali. This is all state park, but there are about 3 dozen hippies below us who do anyway. Actually, it was a big hippie commune back in the 60s. We're going to head out to the shoreline now and follow the Kalalau Trail to the northeast. National Geographic calls this trail one of the top 10 most beautiful on Earth, but it is also considered to be among the most dangerous because a lot of it runs right on the sea cliffs. You'll be able to see it best on the red dirt hills ahead of us, way down below our altitude, winding along the cliffs. We'll get a few little bumps between here and the end of the Napali. We have some wind coming over the mountain ahead. That'll smooth out for us as we round the point. And we're just coming up on the most treacherous part of the trail, where the cliff gets a little rockier here at our 2 o'clock. You'll see the trail zigzag a bit. That part's known as Crawler's Ledge. It's a mile long and only 8 inches wide. mountains up ahead of us. That's Makana Mountain. You can see its pointy peak silhouetted against the sky. That mountain was made famous in the classic movie South Pacific. Ever since then, it's been more popularly known as Lihue. At the bottom of Lihue, the beach right on the point is Kauai. That's where we're heading now. Kauai is as far as you can drive around the north side of the island, into the road, and it's the beginning of the Napali. We'll head up there now and make a turnaround, give everybody a nice photo op of the whole Napali before we continue. As we pull up alongside Kauai, I'll put it out the right side first, then we'll bring it around the left. You'll notice there's a beautiful lagoon tucked at the end of that beach. Can't quite see it from here, but as we climb up, that'll pop out pretty good. It's an area surrounded by a reef. Excellent snorkeling there, a lot of sea turtles. This time of year, that's my favorite spot on the island to catch a good sunset, too. There, we can start to see that lagoon take shape. See the reef surrounding the turquoise area. Now we'll head around the left side now. Kauai, low to your left side. You can see that turquoise area. Yeah, we're coming around now. This whole area up ahead of us, that's all the North Shore. That's all rainforest. We're going to stay offshore just for a couple more minutes, then we'll head inland and see that up close.
River on the north side of the garden now.
This is the side of the island that's known for huge waves in the wintertime. These are only about 3 to 5 footers at the outer surf breaks right now. But in the middle of winter, we get over 40-foot tall waves. Oahu gets even higher than that, close to 50 foot.
Place you know you'll never. Peaceful. Further down the road to Kilauea.
The crescent-shaped reef ahead to your front right, that's Tunnels Reef. If you've seen the movie Soul Surfer, or if you're familiar with Bethany Hamilton, that's where she had her little run-in with the tiger shark. But that's very rare here. She still surfs there all the time. This time of year, it makes a fabulous scuba dive. It got its name Tunnels from some underwater lava tubes that run through the reef. Also great for snorkeling. A lot of that reef comes up within just a couple feet of the surface.
Caretaker of the land.
And backs up to the beautiful town of Haiena to our right side. Pretty little North Shore town. All the homes there are built up on stilts to allow for storm surge. Although fortunately they haven't had to use them since about the 1940s is the last time it flooded above the beach level there. Those tall pine trees standing out of the town are known as Cook Pines. They used to build ships' masts out of those. And they named them after Captain James Cook. He was the first European to ever land here in the Hawaiian Islands. Directly ahead of us, that's where you guys are staying. There's Princeville. Very well known for fabulous resorts, gorgeous golf courses. You can see the St. Regis Resort right on the bluff straight ahead of us. We're going to turn in just before Princeville. We'll put that on the left side on the way in.
There's a place
There's a long stretch of golden sand coming up on your front right. That's Lihue Beach. That was also a major scene in South Pacific. That's the beach where Mitzi Gaynor washed that man right out of her hair in that movie.
The people there know they got it all. The simple life for me.
And right between Princeville and Lihue, there's the beautiful Hanalei Bay.
Waialeale is where I canyons
You guys remember the song Puff the Magic Dragon? He lived in a land called Hanalei. That was Hanalei Bay they wrote it about.
magic of the
That's one of my favorite spots on the island to hang out at the beach up here on the North Shore.
When I was young, not too smart, I left my home for a brand new start. That's better still. Now I know I never will. Heli on to Kauai, Hanalei, River Valley, where I used to play.
These rectangular farm fields you see down below us, those are taro fields. Taro is a root vegetable very similar to a potato, although it's purple, and it's farmed kind of like rice in flooded paddies. And that's what the Hawaiians make poi out of. Very traditional food here. Kind of looks like purple mashed potatoes. You guys had a chance to go to a luau yet and try some poi? Well, if you get a chance, luau's are lots of fun. I can't promise you'll love the poi. A little different from the food you guys get in Texas, but the luau's are a blast. If you guys are wanting to try one, let me know. I'd be happy to recommend one.
It's calling me back home. It's calling me back home.
We're going to head on into the interior of the island now, see all this beautiful rainforest up close. Go find some waterfalls to have a look at. Now this is the rainier side of the island here. Very common to get these passing showers come through. It's what keeps it so beautiful and green and lush up this way. And in Hawaii, we consider that to be a blessing. So if you're getting rained on, y'all are just getting blessed Hawaiian style. Waterfall coming down the hill, coming up on our right side. One is intermittent. She only flows if we've had a lot of rain recently up in the upper elevation. And because she doesn't always flow, she will not be named. Any waterfall you hear referred to by name is a perennial. It always flows. And we have one of those coming around the corner for you. She is up ahead. Amalokama stands 2,400 feet tall, making her the tallest waterfall on Kauai. Now because we have so many intermittent waterfalls on the island that turn off or on, and also because new ones pop up day by day, as landslides carve through the earth and erosion continues. There is no one number regarding how many waterfalls exist on the island, but it is in the multiple thousands. Over this little ridge line here and over into Hanalei Valley on the other side. This valley is an excellent representation of what most of the interior of the island looks like. All lush, undeveloped rainforest, no roads. Waterfalls for days all up and down both sides of this valley. If you look back at all the nooks and crannies everywhere. About 70% of this island is inaccessible by any other means than helicopter. This is a good example of that.
I could not stop the tune now, no singing. Come out upon my seas, curse me to stop opportunities. Am I a part of the cure, or am I part of the disease? Singing you.
You'll see the lighter colored trees down below us in the valley that stand out a bit from the others. Those are kukui trees. That's where we get the kukui nut from that's woven into leis. Looks a lot like a buckeye if you're familiar with that. It's also known as the candle nut. You can light it and it stays lit for about 20 minutes. So the ancient Hawaiians would harvest the oil from the candle nut. They'd use it for torches and also to seal the koa wood on their voyaging canoes. Us, you can see a giant white eye on the valley wall. It looks like it was painted there, but that's actually a natural lime deposit. In Jurassic World, there was a scene where the helicopter lifted off to go chase down Indominus Rex. Right before he ran into all the pterodactyls, you could see him fly past that eye. That whole chase scene took place right here where we're flying through Hanalei Valley. A little bit lower down, they were kind of skimming the treetops on that one. We crest the ridgeline, the plains of Waialua and Lihue are coming into view on the other side. Those plains were formed in the final eruption of Waialeale 500,000 years ago, when the island went extinct. In that last eruption, the east wall of the volcano was blown open and all the lava spilled out, so this whole left side was a giant lake of lava at that time. That's how the plains were formed. We're going to hop around the ridgeline ahead of us, hang a right turn, and approach where that east wall once stood. See if we can have a little peek inside the crater. Keep in mind, everything you've seen today literally began right here. This is the birthplace of the entire island we're about to go visit. Welcome to the crater of Waialeale. Sacred place on the entire island. The Hawaiians believe this crater is home to the demigod Kane, one of the gods in their religion. And again, this is one of the rainiest places in the entire world we're flying through right now. You'll see some trees growing up the south wall to our right side with big umbrella-like canopies. They're also low in the valley to our left. Those are African albizia trees. They're not native to the island. A lot of our plants were brought over as well. With trees, that was typically for construction purposes, building ships, like with the cook pines we saw earlier. But with these albizas, they didn't quite go as planned. It turns out they grow about 4 times more rapidly here than they do in their native Africa. And that makes them very brittle, so we couldn't build anything with them. So instead, since they replenish so quickly, you'll see some bare spots up ahead where we're cutting them down. We use them as a biomass energy source now. Big part of the electric grid here on Kauai. We're about 2,100 miles away from the mainland, so that's how far oil has to be boated to get here. So alternative energy has become a priority here. Biomass is one part of the mix. Here on Kauai, solar makes up the largest share, and Oahu has recently gotten into hydroelectric and wind power as well.
She's somehow closer now. Softly smile, I know she must be kind. In her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom wood.
Off to your right side, you'll see a very gentle upslope in the land, and there's kind of a bowl-shaped divot in the top of it. That's the Kilohana crater. It's a secondary vent off the side of Waialeale. On the back side of that crater, the Lihue side, is the Kilohana plantation. It's an old sugarcane plantation. It has been revamped. These days they do a nice luau there if you'd like to check one out. It's also home to the Kalalau Rum Company. They have a great free tasting there as well. All this land we're flying over now, this is all privately owned by Steve Case, the founder of AOL. He's the second largest private landholder here on Kauai with 49,000 acres. Just a scotch less than the Robinsons are sitting on. This is all his private cattle ranch here, but most of his land he leases out to eco-tour companies and agriculture companies. We're going to make one more stop before we head on in. You can see ahead to our front left, there's a gully cutting through the land. That's the Waialeale River, largest navigable river in the state of Hawaii. Excellent for kayaking and paddleboarding, although a little bit closer for you guys for that, it would be the the Hanalei River. Hanalei town, you can go kayaking and paddleboarding there as well. But we're visiting this one because I got one last waterfall to show you before we head on in. I'll bring her around the left side as we make a turn here, then we'll turn around and put her out the right. There she is coming into view off your left-hand side. That's Waialua Falls. She stands 173 feet tall, and that is the waterfall from the old TV show Fantasy Island. Now that one you can actually drive to. It's about 15 minutes from the airport out of Lihue to get up there. You can see the parking lot off to the left side if you want to get a closer look. I'll bring around the right side now.
Now I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when the volcano blows. Let me say now, I don't know.
And off to our left in the distance, Lihue is coming back into view, which unfortunately does mean we are heading back to the airport in a few minutes. So I want to take a moment and say a big mahalo nui loa. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your morning and going flying with me. I appreciate it. If by any chance your travels happen to take you to the other major Hawaiian islands, we do fly on Maui, Oahu, and the Big Island if you want to go see the lava from the sky. When we get back to the airport, the ground staff will open the doors for you. Make your way to the front of the aircraft. There will be a blue square painted on the ground, and if you wait right beside that square, they'll assist everybody with taking pictures in front of the helicopter before you head on inside. Once inside, if you have some time, we have some pilot comment cards and a computer guest book. If you have a second, you want to leave any thoughts or comments you may have on the tour, I always appreciate hearing from everybody. At this point, though, I do have to turn the microphones off for landing. So you guys enjoy the music, and I'll see you on the ground in a few minutes. Aloha.
Come down soft and hot. You better love me now or love me not. Let me say now, I don't know. I don't know where Mr. Utley. No time to count what I'm worth, 'cause I just left the planet Earth. Where I go, I hope there's rum. Not to worry, monsoon come. Now I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when the volcano blows. One more now, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go. But I don't want to land in the New York City. I don't want to land. I don't want to land on no 3 Mile Island. I don't want to see my skin glow. I don't want to land at Comanche Sky Park or in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't want to land in no San Juan Airport or the Yukon Territory. I don't want to land no San Diego. I don't want to land in no Buzzards Bay. I don't want to land on no Iotola. I got nothing more to say. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Enjoy the rest of your vacations. Aloha.